I'm Janet Botcherby and I work with the business coaching organisation Sherlaws and their sister organisation Think, Feel, Know. I joined Sherlaws nearly 4 years ago when I came back from having lived for nearly 10 years overseas myself. And I spent the 10 years moving 5 times between 4 different countries. It was just that I went overseas because of my husband's work, and his career reached a point, having done 3 international postings, that it was time to come back to head office. When we came back, and I think this is really an interesting point, because I think a lot of people, when they've been abroad for a long time, think that coming home is going to be just brilliant. You know what to expect. You've got your friends there, you've got a home, and people think it's going to be a really easy move. Actually, it's the most difficult move. More specifically for my husband, coming back into the head office, he very quickly felt that his international experience just wasn't valued at all. He'd been very successful, been running huge, multi-million-pound projects and things. He comes back, he's stuck at a desk in a big open-plan office. People have no idea of the level of responsibility he'd had. And when you don't feel valued, it knocks through to your sense of self-esteem. You get very stressed. You feel stuck. You just feel useless. And he did become very much like that. And very sadly, just over 2 years ago, on a beautiful sunny evening in July, when we were having a game of golf, he collapsed. He had a massive heart attack and he died. And that was completely out of the blue. Left myself and 2 teenage children by that stage, 14 and 17, thinking, where do we go from here? When you lose somebody, you lose all the past you had, but worse than that, you lose all the hopes, the dreams that you've had for the future. Being aware of how, when you are really, really in a very deep, dark place, you have to acknowledge where you are, and you have to do something that will enable you to let go and actually almost release yourself from those past ties, because otherwise they can keep pulling you back. It's funny, I have these little I call them my little anchors that I wear, and one of them I always have with me is just a little elastic band, because there's almost a sense that there's a tension between where you've been and where you want to go, and so you've got the past here and you're moving to the future, but you keep getting pulled back to the past. And if you're going to actually move to a new spot in your life, you've got to let go. A couple of things I did which I think really helped me I just almost didn't even think about it. I was waking up very early, and when I woke up, you lie awake, you wake up, you put your arm across, and suddenly you realise that they're not there. And then it hits you like a wall. And I forced myself to get up and busy myself until 6:30, and at 6:30 the gym opened. And frankly, I hate going to the gym. I have never been a gym bunny at all. I really don't enjoy it. But just something really deep inside me said, exercise is going to help. Having a sense of where I want to go is important. It's not a very clear sense. People talk about having a vision, and I don't find visualization for the future very easy. So what I've done, I suppose, is set myself short-term goals, and that I feel are steps along the way. And they also feel more manageable. Sometimes people say that the biggest challenges can be the biggest opportunities, and this was a huge challenge, and it was something which I feel I've risen to, and I'm seizing the opportunities. I now have time. I can choose to use my time in the evenings however I want to do. The fact of life is he's not here anymore, and that's the fact. And so it's being grateful for the fantastic time we had together, the wonderful children that we have as a family. And I know that wherever his energy is out in the universe, or wherever he is according to what your beliefs are, I know it's what he would be wanting me to be doing, would be to be going ahead and building out my life now moving forward.